Fitzpatrick. Kuchera.
Yep, here.
Please. Wolfgang here. Campbell.
Here.
And Blanchard.
Here.
You repeat those.
Sure.
Brief public input. Is there anybody here tonight that would like to address the board for anything? Approval of agenda.
Of course, I have some things to add, as usual. I would like to add hiring of paid on-call emergency services member pending background check as item D and union grievance as item E.
Anybody else?
I move to approve the agenda as presented with the additions of D and E.
I second it.
It's been moved and supported to approve the agenda with the addition of D and E, hiring part-time EMS employee and union grievance. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Declaration of conflict of interest. Does anybody have any conflict with anything that's on the agenda tonight? Okay. Presentation and special reports. Grand Traverse County Commissioner.
Good evening, everyone. Brad Jewett, Grand Traverse County Board of Commissioners, District 3. Been pretty quiet, but paying bills is normal. Last week we did approve NMC Automotive to acquire the former air car, and during that whole deal, they will actually use that car to promote the Sheriff's Department and the fundamentals of the old DARE program, since the DARE program is no longer existent. So they will be taking possession of that old DARE car. We got our MERS annual report, and it's 100 pages long, so it's kind of a lot to decipher and kind of confusing, but we are making progress and everything, with, long story short and everything. So we did have a financial audit report, and that turned out very well. The auditors were pleased and everything. A couple little minor things they wanted to address, but they said it was very minor and everything. So we got a Cass Road update this last week here on the drain. It's going out to bid, I believe it was actually yesterday. So I don't have the schedule with me and everything, but I was gonna plan on going to Garfield first tonight and you guys second, so I could hang out, but the drain commissioner is gonna be there and they want me there for that meeting. So if there's any questions or comments, I'm here. If not, my information is on the county website, and I think there's some cards up here on the counter. That's it.
Thank you, Brad.
I will see you next month, and I will plan on being second next month, so I can stick around, so I can stick around. How's everybody?
Calvin, good luck tonight.
Yep.
Good evening, Matt Karczewski, Grand Traverse Sheriff's Office. The monthly report for July 2019, my statistics: arrests 9, citations 20, complaints 70, traffic crashes 9, warrants attained 2. A couple things that just highlighted here. On the 4th, there was a man that passed out in the middle of Chum's intersection. Everybody was just driving around him, ignoring him. Finally, 2 college-age boys who were here on vacation stopped, thankfully, and shut the guy's car off. He was huffing. He kept waking up, huffing some more, passing back out, waking up, huffing. So I arrived and arrested him for driving under the influence of drugs. And the blood draw did show difluorothane, which is what that is in his blood system. So the next one, a man found in Hoosier Valley on the 8th. A man locally here sent some texts to his family that he was going to end his life. He didn't have a cell phone with him, so I couldn't ping it. Or he did, I just couldn't ping it. I can't remember which. But some friends talked to me and they said there's a certain trail out in Hoosier Valley, so I took the DNR with me, and we went out there and started looking for him. And luckily, we found him, and he did try to hang himself. He was unsuccessful. He was just sitting by his car, so I was real thankful that we found him. And he called me later and thanked me, which was really cool, because rarely do that. I took him to Munson, obviously, and he has 3 children, so obviously we don't want anything to happen to him. South Creek update, there was the larceny in June in there, and I got a fingerprint off the window, but I sent it to the lab and it wasn't good enough. They have to be pretty nice. Sometimes you think they're good enough and they're not. Any questions?
How was lunch?
Lunch here was very good. Thanks to Tracy and Lynette. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Grand Traverse County Road.
But I don't want to jump in front of anybody. Andy Martin, Grand Traverse County Road Commission. If you haven't noticed, we've been busy. There's cones everywhere. I mean, we're not only busy, so is the city, and so is the villages and MDOT. There's a strike going on, or at least there was last I knew. Reef Riley is the one that's affected by that. Good news is, it's not going to affect any projects that are currently in the works because they weren't doing anything for us at the time. Bad news is, there's 2 projects for the second half, which we're in right now, that were awarded to Reef Riley. So there's a chance that those projects won't get done this year. I don't remember which ones they are. When I talked to Brad last week, he seemed to think that they're going to go to get the issues resolved like they did last year, not to get the projects done. But we don't know until they actually start working again. But we don't have any roads that are torn up with cones that are just sitting there waiting for them to come back, so that's a good thing. The bridge on East Duck Lake Road is going along well. They're 2 to 3 weeks into that. They're about halfway, and I have not heard of any delays. And some of the residents down there are very thrilled about what's happening. I think it's going to be a great thing. It's going to look great and help open up that waterway a little bit. That's all I really have.
I think it's gonna look great as well, but I have had a couple people asking why the county chose to do a wooden bridge. I didn't know how to answer that.
Funding.
Um,
It costs us less money
Okay.
because others paid portions.
Because what?
Others paid for a lot of it.
Okay.
The tribe paid, I believe, or it came through, the tribe helped get the money from like Fish and Wildlife, or I
Okay.
can't remember who it all was, but it
Yeah.
was because of creating a easier passage for the water and anything that's in there, fish.
Okay.
So it cost us like half of what it would to do both 0 to 4 upgrade.
And it's gonna look a lot nicer, I think,
I agree.
especially in that area. It's gonna look pretty.
So this sector, we didn't have to pay for it. Well, maybe we did, just not through the road. Anything else? All right, thank you.
Thanks, Andy.
Thanks, Andy.
Wade Trim, our engineer is on vacation, he's in the UP, and he did not submit a report this month. Operation Services,
I can give you an update.
yep, that would be good.
Patrick Gallagher, Operation Services. Is this on?
No,
It doesn't sound like.
No, there's no wire running to it.
you of all people don't need that.
Patrick.
The iron removal plant is offline again. What has it been, about 2 weeks ago, we had Don from Windmuller come up there to work on some issues we were having with the control system, with the set points on the tank. And he diagnosed one of the issues, which allowed us to change the set points to a higher level of tank, because we couldn't fill it all the way. We could only go to 8 feet, and the tank has a 10-foot range. And when they were in there, they did something where we couldn't go to that 10 foot. And there's like another 120,000 gallons that we could have used. But now that works. But when he was in there testing for well 4, when well 4 would come on, it would change that set point, that tank level would drop it 0.3 of a foot, and when it would turn off, it would increase it 0.3 of a foot. So he was in there checking the milliamp signal on the transducer, and I happened to be in the water plant, and when the well turned off, the whole system overpressurized, and I actually got it on video. Because when I first walked in there, they had, turned it off, and I said, that didn't sound right. So I got my phone out, and I videotaped the pressure gauge and what happened, and I mean, it went well above 150 PSI. And I was able to open a valve in there and release the pressure and hopefully avoided any damage. But I notified, Nicole and Wade Trim, and we've had a bunch of various meetings and phone calls that we're we're not making any progress on right now. We're just waiting on those guys. So ultimately, the fix to the problem is to put a loop in the effluent line going out of the filters. It's like an upside down P-trap. So the water can't back siphon out into the underground tank. And why that is because the filters, the elevation of the filters are at basically the same elevation as that tank. Okay, in that head range of that tank. So as the tank drains, the filters want to drain. They're not gravity filters, you can't do that. You gotta have pressure on them. So is what they did, this common effluent valve that shuts to avoid that in this case, so it wouldn't drain into the tank. If the tank drained, we wouldn't drain our filters. So they did some programming on that. Well, the programming, something failed a couple weeks ago, and so I just took it offline between West Tech and Wade Trim, pointing fingers at each other. That's kind of where we're at right now. But does anyone have any questions on that?
What did you just say?
It's just been frustrating because, you guys have, and Nicole has done so much to better this township's water system. And when it's running, it runs fine. But we're at a point now where if that loop goes in, we don't have to have that common valve shut when the tank is drained. That will all go away. The risk of overpressurizing the system will go away. The only time that valve will shut is when it's backwash.
So when will this be accomplished?
We're waiting on right now for one more quote from a company who's quoting the loop. Wade Trim and West Tech have received one quote. It's not gonna cost the township any money. This is between Wade Trim and West Tech to figure out who's paying for what. Hopefully, by the end of this week, they'll have their second quote. And hopefully by next week, we can move forward. And like Patrick said, until we get that loop and can really turn everything back online, we don't know what's happened, if anything happened. And it's a good possibility with the overpressurizing that happened. I mean, we may have leaks in area we've never had leaks before. We don't know.
Pressure gauges to mechanical seals on the impellers and the pumps. And I want the board members to see that Nicole has been involved on site or somehow, some way in all of this, and which is awesome. She's very tuned into it. So, and she's been dealing a lot with a lot of stuff that she shouldn't have to. So, we're working on it. We're just kind of waiting on some people to do their end of the deal, and then we can go push the button and put it back in service.
Thank you for getting it to where it's at,
Yeah.
rather than really.
Yeah, and we're on it. I mean, we're up there every day, every other day, checking stuff, It's a new baby.
It is.
So do you guys have any other questions on anything else? Any questions about all the flags in the township?
Yeah, what's the little blue flag right out by the mailbox? Water?
It's a little blue flag. No, that's we're marking water main, curb stop, service lines, because they're running fibers going to all the casinos in Michigan. And the guys told us today they're running it up to the city. So
All the way through our township,
connecting them
down
all
Vance
fiber.
Road,
Yeah.
through Hoosier, down Beitner River, all the way out to the casino. Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah, and we
Yeah.
met with MDOT today
yeah.
for the highway construction project, slated for spring, next spring.
They're gonna be moving some water main there. We're gonna get a turning line and just working out the fine details.
They were originally planning on moving another section of water main at East Silver in 31, but there's a 12-inch gas main that runs right through there, and they're literally 2 foot apart from each
Yeah,
other.
it's a sensitive spot.
Yeah.
So, you guys got any other questions? For me?
How was lunch?
You wanna talk some more?
I can.
I-
will. And next spring's, and next summer's gonna be crazy out on 31.
Oh,
It's
I'm
gonna be
sure of
nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to the iron removal treatment
Yes.
plant. Huge thank you to you and Ryan.
Thank you.
Again.
Thank you.
I've been saying that every month, but I don't know what we would do without you guys.
Well, I appreciate that.
And
like I said, I'm gonna thank you again. You guys have been so awesome. And just trusting us in what we do and letting us do it, you know? And I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Trace?
Treasurer's report. The general fund, I have 3,126,921. The fire and police fund, I have 567,351. The ambulance fund, I have 788,228. Metro Act fund, I have 64,406. Liquor law enforcement fund, I have 20,000. Sewer fund, I have 1,806,266. Water fund, I have 1,904,879. Current tax collection, I have 356,971. Payroll clearing, I have $89. In milfoil, we have $4,110. For a total of $8,639,223.93.
Any questions for Tracy?
How was lunch?
Nice.
Delicious.
Announcements and correspondence.
Movie night. Movie night in the park, of course, is gonna be the Street with Life of Pets. Roughly, at dusk, Saturday the 24th of August. And the more help I get, the better it is. Randy Clausen, she had called me from Grand United Methodist Church, and she would have a few people. And so that'd be good. And really, did you say you would help out?
I don't know, I have a wedding that
Huh?
night. I have a wedding that night, so
Ooh.
I'm not sure.
I'd rather go to the wedding too, but oh well. But if anybody can help, that'd be great. I'm trying to get more help. Now, they asked for the second payment, we did that, we got approved on that. On this, the way I've been running this, I've had an angel come to my rescue. And Tracy's been helping on this, and she's been doing fantastic on that. On the food and all that. In fact, Tracy, I'm gonna turn it over to you. Do you mind talking about the food?
No, we have, everything is in waiting until we know the weather. We have the movie here. I have the list. What else did we got something else too.
You got the chocolate too, right?
Oh, yeah, candy bars. It's important. Sanso has his orders. So we're just waiting on the weather. I mean, I don't want to get a bunch of stuff here. I mean, the candy bars we can always sell in my office if it rains out or something, but being the 24th of August, is there really another good date to reschedule? So I'm just kind of holding off. I have the whole list of everything we need once the date, once we get closer and we know it's going to be a halfway decent evening.
What was the movie selection?
Secret Life of Pets. Have either of you thought, I was thinking the other day, we need to make some signs up for prices of.
Yeah, I have, Cooch brought me some things to put the signs in. Yeah.
And I've got coolers, one cooler holds 280 cans. No, I take it back, that one that's over 300 cans. The other one's 85 cans, and the other one's for 48 cans. So I have coolers there. Nicole mentioned bringing a refrigerator for the chocolate, right? So it doesn't melt, like, because Lynette said it melts.
In August.
The last time we did, right? So, but we'll get it together, yes. It's gonna work out. Like I said, I've had Angel helping me, and that's been fantastic, okay? So I wanna thank you, okay? So any questions about it?
No, we're doing good. We're doing good.
Sure, you're good.
Don't listen to her. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Apparently somebody got it.
Can be edited for an extra
Some
amount.
correspondence.
I think all laughter should be in the video.
This was received from Glenn Harrington on August 2nd. Good morning. First off, we would like to thank you for your overwhelming support Blair Township has demonstrated to this point with our project at the former Stafford Ranch property. Oh, I'm gonna laugh again. As you all know, the property had a history of successes, but also had some downtime and some stalls. With Blaine's being the first domino to fall into this parcel, we were able to secure an arrangement with the Land Bank Authority in Grand Traverse County to develop the middle parcel. In doing so, we also have a collaborative arrangement moving forward for a brownfield redevelopment initiative with Grand Traverse County, Blair Township, Grand Traverse Road Commission, Brownfield Authority, and H&M Development to complete the extension of Stadium Drive out to Rennie School and widening of Rennie School back to 31 South in order to accommodate the traffic from the industrial park out to the new traffic signal. The Brownfield initiative will help to reimburse the Road Commission, Blair Township, and H&M Development for costs associated with the public infrastructure improvement. In only 18 months' time, we have all had an opportunity to see Blaine's VA Clinic, Action Water Sports, Pitt Spitters Park, Wagner Electric, RCI Construction, Grand Bay Marine, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and many others come to be. It is the forward-thinking and the development-driven nature of Blair Township that has brought all of these businesses to Blair Township, along with our project, and we thank you. Stafford Barn has drawn a tremendous amount of interest for both commercial and recreational uses. We have had an opportunity to embrace the demand for a wider variety of owners within Stafford Barns. Now realizing the interest out there in being situated adjacent to an industrial park and in the commercial district, we would like to request that we have a broader scope of permitted uses. We understand those uses that require a special land use permit would require the normal processes and approvals for any special land use permit application. We look forward to the continued partnership and the positive growth within Blair Township, and we sincerely thank you. Glenn Harrington, H&M Development. I thought that was a nice letter.
Yes.
And I received this one on July 11th. I would like to thank you so much for your professional, methodical review and decision regarding the 408 Racco Point property. It's too bad that not all members of governmental boards are not as dedicated to thoroughness and therefore fairness as you all. Having lived in Blair Township for 51 years through many bad times, I can see the corner being turned through your leadership. Thank you.
Do we know who that's from?
Yep, Vicky Bush. And this one, you can have those. That's all I have. Anybody else have any announcements? Consent calendar. The purpose of the consent calendar is to expedite business by grouping non-controversial items together to be dealt with in one board motion without discussion. Any member of the board may ask that any item of the consent calendar be removed and placed elsewhere on the agenda for full discussion. Such requests will automatically be respected. Eric, you wanted your report pulled?
Did we just get it?
Emergency services report. Anybody else got anything, Cole?
I will make a motion to approve the consent calendar with the exception of the emergency services report.
Support. It's been moved and supported to approve the consent calendar with the exception of the emergency services report. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Eric Thompson, Director of Emergency Services. I only asked the report be pulled because several things have happened since it was written. One is the fair standby is over. That took a lot of man hours and our crews, part-time staff, paid on-call staff, and full-time all pitched in. Special thanks to Chief Parker. He was there every evening for the events. So he put in a lot of time. I'm sure he was babysitting his new engine, but he put in a lot of time to the standby events for this year. But all the staff put in their time. We also have the old engine show coming up, and the pit spinners with their playoffs that added this week an additional standby event. So that's gonna be hit and miss, but they're all eager to sign up for that one and see how they do.
That starts tonight, doesn't it?
It just started last night, but.
Tonight's first.
Tonight's first, yeah.
Yeah.
If you watch the news, Chief Parker's done a clip on the CO detectors after their blitz, and I put the CO detector in the house and did the alarm. They did a clip on the news. Today, I think they installed 7 detectors because they kept having people call in.
After seeing that news. And Record Eagle, two big write-ups, and kudos to
Great.
emergency services over the CO.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Record Eagle actually had a great editorial in there.
I know.
There you go.
I know.
That was fantastic, yeah.
And fortunately and unfortunately, we were able to trial the new engine as we had a structure fire up on Cross Road. Sad for the fire, but it was nice to see the new engine get out and work and function as it's supposed to. Very pleasing to see that. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Unfinished business, no. Oh,
Want to approve that now?
Oh, his report?
Yeah. I would move to approve the emergency services report.
Support.
it's been moved and supported to approve the emergency services report. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No unfinished business.
Hold on. All right.
All right. New business. Public hearing. We're gonna close our regular meeting, open up the public hearing, 6:30 PM. This is for special use case SU SPR 19-07-02. The applicant is Grand Bay Marine to establish an indoor boat storage facility, constructing 4 10,800 square foot buildings, and to establish a retail warehousing in the existing building located at 211 US 31 South Traverse City, Michigan, also known as the former Perk and Mortar Freight Building, parcel number 28-02-004-008-01, section 8, T26 and R11W. This public hearing notice was posted on the Township Hall Bulletins, Township webpage, and the Traverse City Record Eagle. So the public hearing is open. If anyone would like to speak.
Can I introduce the project?
Sure.
My name is Dave Lewis. and with Gordy Frazier, we were hired by McHugh Buildings to do the site plan civil engineering for this part of the project, this phase of the project. I might have you look over in this direction. The 4 storage buildings are here. The existing Parker Motor Freight building and warehouse area is here. We're providing a connection, the existing easements to this, I don't know the name of this road, but it connects to Renee School Road, which comes out to the newly installed lake, which is very favorable to what they need to be able to do. That is all, some of which are very large boats in here and store them in these buildings. That's a really nice feature for them. We met with the Planning Commission, EMS. They've requested some modifications to the plans, which we've accommodated. Everything has been requested. We're gonna run water main from an existing 8-inch stub here off of Buckshot Drive, down, around, up, and all the way down to here, so that there's a hydrant that can service all of this area. The zoning ordinance doesn't address storage buildings directly, so it was evaluated partially under as a warehouse, in which under warehouse requirements there's a great deal of parking required. Fortunately, they have an existing asphalt area which can accommodate the parking, but along with parking, as you go through that section of the ordinance, there's internal landscaping and additional trees required, which are all shown here. These are changes since when we looked, since a few weeks ago when we looked at the plan before. In addition to that, because of the total square footage of the buildings combined, 23 additional landscape trees are required. They're shown along these property lines. In the gaps, there's already existing trees, so that's the reason for the gaps. Providing a landscape buffer between this property and the adjacent residential, the subdivision, all of it. There's no door openings at the south end of these. They all face north. I think that's a design feature that is nice for properties to the south. There won't be anybody monkeying around back there. None of these require water or sewer, so we're not showing any hookups right now. Of course, there's an existing sewer stub that comes most of the way out. I think it ends right here right now. But we've designed all the stormwater retention, addressed all the needs of the site plan requirements for Blair Township. So if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them. Otherwise, I'll let you continue their meeting. Beth, thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave. Does anybody else wish to speak? Close the public hearing at 6:34. Any discussion, board members? Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve special use case SUSPR 19-07-02, as they met all of the requirements as required from our planning commission.
I'll support.
It's been moved and supported to approve special use case SUSPR 19-07-02, as it meets all of the requirements set forth by our planning commission. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Campbell,
Yes.
Zeitz,
Yes.
Flees,
Yes.
Wolfgang, yes. Kuchera,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
and Blanchard.
Yes.
We're all set then?
You're good.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank
you.
When you guys tying into the water main now?
What's that?
When you guys gonna tie into the water main? Just kidding.
We're hand digging it
Dude, I
up.
mean, cut the grass.
Just give me like an hour notice before you do it, okay?
We have a deep.
You know, I'm gonna wait to put this thing together. Okay, let's put it on the water. All right, thank you very much.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Item B, Eastwood Wistram Woods LLC, the request for a utility extension agreement. Any discussion on this? I know they're asking for a 15-year, in our ordinance, the board can make that last, and agree to the 15. I think there's 4 parcels affected, so I personally don't have a problem with 15-year. I'll make a motion to approve the Eastwood Wistram Woods LLC request for a utility extension agreement.
Support.
Any further discussion? It's been moved and supported to approve the Eastwood Wistram Woods LLC request for utility extension agreement. Roll call.
Kuchera,
Yes.
please.
Yes.
Wolfgang, yes. Zeitz.
Yes.
Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
Bonchine.
Yes.
And Campbell.
Yes.
Item C, emergency services surplus equipment. Declare the 3 Roscoe units as surplus and declare, do we have to do those separate?
I would make a motion to declare 5 Philips cardiac monitors and 3 Roscoe
CPR device.
CPR devices as surplus. Tag numbers 22, 26 through, oh creep, I can't do it that way. Let's skip the tag numbers. As the equipment is to be traded in on the purchase of new equipment.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to declare the Philips cardiac monitors, 5 of them, and the Roscoe CPR device as surplus. As this equipment is going to be traded in on purchase of new equipment. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? D, hiring of part-time EMS employee.
So last week we interviewed Liam Reinhardt, and we like to bring him out as paid on call member. We're adding this to the agenda tonight because he's not trained, so we want new members that aren't trained, they have to come in and go through an orientation process, show a level of commitment before we put them through school. So like that, get him hired before fire school starts in November.
I would move to approve hiring Lane Reinhardt as a paid-on-call emergency services member.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve Lane Reinhardt as a paid on-call emergency services employee. Any discussion? Does he live around here?
Not a Lynch River.
Full disclosure, he's Jennifer's son,
Oh.
my deputy's son.
Oh. We'll talk later. No, let's not. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And item E, we are at, and just for the record, I do believe that we could go into closed session for this discussion, but I don't see any need to. It's about transparency, and it is what it is. We're at a 3rd step, union grievance. The first step went through SAMSO. The second step went through me. I forwarded everybody that letter, and and this is third step of the decision. I don't know how far they'll I have no idea. So they have requested that it come to the board. So here we are.
Are we discussing it?
We can discuss it if somebody wants to make a motion.
I'd like
and
to
then we can
move to-
discuss it once the motion's out.
I'd like to move to deny the grievance as the new wage scale clearly states that existing employees outside the wage scale will receive a 6% hourly increase as of 7/1/2019.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to deny this third step grievance as the new contract and the new wage scale clearly states that existing employees outside of the wage scale shall receive a 6% hourly increase effective July 1st, 2019, in which this employee did.
He is out of the wage scale because the wage scale is for 5 years and his full-time hire date was 6/1/13, so as of 6/1/19, he's 6 years. So he's out of
It's
the,
actually a 4-year pay scale, the previous one.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. The current is 5 years. I was gonna point that out to you guys that the old contract and the old wage scale was a 4-year wage scale.
I think this is not a 5, it's a 4.5. And it's 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years.
Yes.
All right, so it's 5.5, right?
No, it's 5 years.
That's 5 years,
Start.
they just get it increased at 6 months.
Okay, got it.
And the previous one was 4 years, and, I mean, we sat in negotiations and negotiated this, the new contract, which included the new wage scale, which actually they presented, the union employees. I mean, it was, as I had said in my second step, the current contract, specifically the newly created wage scale, was negotiated at length and in good faith on all parties' behalf. Everybody involved knew that we needed to address the starting wages and bring those up to a competitive wage in order to attract qualified individuals, which we were very successful. It worked. And that's how, basically how that wage scale was implemented. And I know at length, we negotiated this with the union, and Eric based his budget off this, which was approved by all union members. And how can you deny when it's in bold, existing employees outside the wage scale shall receive a 6% hourly increase effective July 1st, 2019, in which he did.
And you can't tell me that
It's black and white.
any of those employees, before they voted, didn't look at that and say, okay, this is how many years I've been here. This is what I'm going to get with the new contract.
Right.
They looked at every line item.
And we have several people outside that wage scale
Right.
already. I mean, it's not just this one, there's several. Just off the top of my head, I can think of 5, I think. So this one person has filed a grievance. But
I agree, it's clearly stated in the contract. I pulled the contract, and I pulled out backup, and I can see his dislike of it, but he voted on it, and I can also see it's not a breach of contract because it states in the contract what.
well, correct, and we negotiated it. I mean, it wasn't just the wage, we negotiated benefits, we negotiated the health benefits, vacation time, sick time, which all, there was thought put into when that wage scale was created, so.
And essence, the negotiations went rather smoothly too.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a 1 year,
Right.
it's a 1 year contract
And they're,
at their request. Any further discussion? We do have a motion and support, so roll call.
Sights,
Yes.
Wolfgang, yes. Kuchera,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Blondshine,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
and Fleece.
Yes.
And just to make it clear, my motion was to deny the grievance. So voting yes means yes, we're denying it.
I will type up another, I'll type up a letter in response to the third step. And it's basically going to be a recap of the letter I already sent them. And it'll just be, it'll come from the board. It'll be from the Board of Trustees. Everybody good with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's it.
Extended public input?
Oh, yes,
Just in case.
yeah. Extended public input. Veronica, you want to talk? I forgot to say it in announcements and correspondence, but as of today, we have released 95 monarch butterflies. 95. We have 40 that are in chrysalis right now. We have about 40 more caterpillars. And I can't even tell you the amount of people we've educated. People are coming in here, have been giving caterpillars away. I know Chief's daughter's doing it. Veronica is aware of milkweed now and hatches caterpillars. I know Captain Allman's daughter. And 7 and 4 was actually here last week interviewing Fire Chief. And Eric said, you need to go over and check out the caterpillars on the other side of the building. She was blown away. So she filmed a whole bunch of it, filmed pictures of the pictures on display, and she's coming back this week to do an interview and to talk about the monarchs, and is hoping to get some kids that would be willing to talk on camera, just what they've learned here at Blair Township. Importance of milkweed.
What a nice project.
Yep, it's
I have a
been
question.
fun.
Yeah, I
Could we
was
be
in
introduced to the new deputy clerk?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
Well, everybody else has met her, but Marilyn hadn't. This is Jennifer Reinhardt, my new deputy.
Hi.
This is Dennis Fitzpatrick. You've met Roger.
Yeah.
You know Tracy, Nicole, and me.
Yep.
Aaron, and you know Carl.
Yes.
Nice meeting you.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. 50 minutes.
Wow.
I said 45.
Guys,
Wow.
I'm telling you.